Okay. Save changes. Okay, guys, we are live. Welcome to Bar Chat, guys. We are back. It's the season number 3 after a successful last 2 seasons. Slightly different format now. We've got 3 of us, which are co-hosting the show. We've got Matt Gunner here, which you're on the right, which you'll recognise. We've got the diehard Rooney. I noticed you've actually done that as well. I was going to go Rooney in there, Liverpool fan. So we're guaranteed here with the Rooney some bold opinions and some big banter along the way. This podcast is not only going to be football. We're talking football tonight, but as we move forward, we've got some things to look forward to. We've got the Six Nations coming up next month. We've got Cheltenham, which we'll all try and get involved with and share some streams on that as well. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Instagram and YouTube. So jump in, please comment. You can comment live and you can get involved in the conversation. Where do we start? Well, I suppose the last time we were on, guys, we were talking England, and since then, your favourite Southgate has gone. So I thought, are we all happy? How do we feel about Thomas Tuchel? Are we happy about that as a starter?
He'll get results. I think he's got that final little bit of the puzzle that could win us something.
What's your concern about? And there was obviously a pause there from both of you, I noticed.
He doesn't stay anywhere for long.
Okay.
But he does get results, and obviously, I think, and the nationality thing comes. I think the nationality is an issue with a lot of supporters.
Oh, what? Because he's German?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Rooney, what's your thoughts on that recruitment?
I've never warmed to Tuchel, really. And I know a lot of the ad hoc commentary's been around his unwillingness to really forge strong, deep relationships with players. And after a while, that creates dressing room discomfort and disharmony. And it's generally led to him being on his way. So, I don't know. Jury's out for me. I think maybe they should have gone in a different direction. But I mean,
it's a complete U-turn from where they were going for the last 7 years or whatever it is with Southgate, isn't it? But his style of football, we one of the things we all complained about when we were watching previously was that he was tactically inept. That was the issue with Southgate. What I think we've got
Safegate, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. What you've got with him is you've definitely got someone who is technically. I mean, I think most people say he doesn't stay very long. I think that a lot of that's been about money and having the players he wanted to buy and so on. And that's not necessarily going to be an issue, obviously, with international football.
I think I said that with our last podcast after the World Cup, when Tuchel was mentioned, that I think I said he had issues with obviously the hierarchy not spending the money and getting the players that he wanted, and you said exactly the same thing. That's not going to be an issue. He's got the players, the best players for England there at his disposal. The money issue and buying the players is not an issue. So I think he will. Well, he's going to have to deal with what he's got, and there's no other way around it.
But he's got a great set of players, isn't he? I mean, that's what I got to assume. That's why he's joined and decided to take the job, because he's got that abundance of talent in pretty much every department, and with young kids still coming through. So from that point of view, it's an exciting proposition for him, right?
I think if he didn't have the players that we've got now, and like you say, the players coming through, I don't think he would have taken the job.
Yeah,
because he can see that he can, within the next couple of years, he can win a major trophy with England,
and he should well do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that he's got a very good chance of doing that. Well, the other one that was talked about, the other manager, he's just lost his job today. He was talked about before Lee Carsley went in, and that's two people that have just been mentioned with Everton. Sean Dyche just lost his job today. David Moyes is the favourite to go in there. I think that's a good shout, don't you?
To go back to Everton.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard that. To be fair, I saw Sean Dyche had gone.
The two favourites are David Moyes and Lee Carsley.
Okay.
I think Mourinho was mentioned as well in the betting because Everton
I've just read something that says he hasn't been approached. So it's possible that I'd be surprised if he took that job, would you?
Well, yeah, it's not a...
I mean, but then Mourinho's no longer Mourinho, right?
Yeah, I mean, he'd take it, I think, just for the hell of it. He wants to be back in the Premier League. I think he wants the attention, controversy, and spotlight. And I don't think he's getting that where he's been in the past. But we'll see.
It's been a tricky one.
I'm not. And I'm not sure whatever. I just heard TalkSport before I came on, and the popular shout was Lee Carsley. I tend to agree. Ex-Evertonian, plays progressive football, and the good shout was appoint Coleman and Baines as his assistants, get them through at the end of the season, new stadium next year, and bang, move forward.
So who's taken over? Who's taken over today? Do we know? Because I heard it's a player.
It's Coleman, I think.
Right.
Coleman and Baines, I think, have been told they can run it for the next couple of games.
It's a brave decision. You've got to wonder if they thought they had something lined up in respect of
well, Potter was linked as well, and then Potter obviously announced West Ham. So
I wonder if that was there's been a bit of a miscommunication there. I don't know. Anyway, listen, we could talk about Liverpool today, your club, Rooney. We're going to touch on United. We've got a little quiz for you, so a little point scoring to go along this series, which we'll try and get into play. You were at the game last night, mate. Well, firstly, tell me what that stinky hellhole of a stadium's like. I'm assuming I've heard it's very good.
The stadium is fantastic. The stinky hellhole it's in, less so. But I'm actually nursing a sore hip today because that walk, and I'd forgotten it's 5 years since I've done it, 6 years maybe. That walk from the stadium down to Seven Sisters, where you're trying to get around the crowd on and off the pavement, I've done something severe to my hip. I climbed the barrier as well by the tube station to try and get to the front, which was bad.
Well, did you not have a ticket?
No, this was to get back. Try and get a pint before closing time finished. But no, stadium impressive. Atmosphere
I hear they've
good.
got those in the bars. They've got those things, and the drinks all fill up from the bottom.
From the bottom.
From the bottom.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really quick.
Yeah. It is really quick. You're not really queuing at the bar, even though it was busy. You're in and you're out. £6.25 a pint wasn't bad. Didn't think either. I don't know what it is at Arsenal. You'll know.
To be honest, mate, last time I went, I was in the hospitality. So what can I tell you? I didn't have to buy a beer.
Prawn sandwich brigade. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it is that bad. I don't remember it being too bad though. I mean, they've got to deal with Camden Hells. So they, although I hear it's over, but an interesting game. I don't know, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see the whole thing, but are we seeing is this a crisis or a blip?
I'd say, and I reflected on it on the way back, the lengthy journey back into central London last night took an eternity to get back. I think it's a blip. I don't think it's a crisis. I think everything that has gone on with the United game, Spurs last night in terms of the defeat, and just a disappointing run of form of the last couple of games since the 5-0 drubbing of West Ham. I think it's a blip. I don't feel... I think we need, and Slot was quick to say it, and there's a bit of me... Didn't really like the openness with which he tackled the press conference and basically told every team in the league how to play us, the way United had played us and the way Forest had played us, which is basically hammer long, fast balls in at the corners. And at the minute, fullback-wise, we're not picking them up. Comes on to recruitment and January transfer window and things like Robertson's legs are starting to go a little bit, but people are getting wise to it. Trent's obviously had his shocker against United. He was a bit better for the 15, 20 minutes or so he got last night. But yeah, I think it's a blip. We'll see. Massive game on Tuesday now. Huge game at Forest. So I'm heading over for that as well. And I think if we get a win there,
it's at the City Ground, right?
It is, yeah. So if we get a win there, I think we're back on track. If we were to lose or to draw it, then I think blip gets reconsidered. But let's see.
Well, I mean, listen, we watched the tail end of the Liverpool United game together.
We did.
And I, one thing I wanted to bring up with you is you were quite animated about Alexander-Arnold. There's some mixed. It was all the conversation in the studio for Sky afterwards. I mean, he just wasn't at the races. I mean, is he just is he lost a bit of form, or do you think everything that's going on is with Real Madrid is affecting him? But he's not on his own, is he? Because you've got Van Dijk, and then it goes all the way through to Salah. I mean, my question for you actually is, what's gone on at Liverpool where they've got arguably their three best players out of contract? It seems remiss.
Yeah. Well, it's well known. Whether it was avoidable or not is a different story. But when Klopp put his announcement in, those contracts were ticking down. And I think, to be fair, the players, not unreasonably, they wanted to know who was coming in, what the style was, would they fit. They're each at probably an age in their career for different reasons when they needed to make sure it was right for them. And I have sympathy in that. The timing was unfortunate. I don't think we're getting played specifically. I think there's opportunism for the players for sure. I think 2 out of 3 will almost certainly sign. The one I'd be, when I say worried about, maybe not confident in his strength for many, many reasons. He's made it very clear that he wants to not just win Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, if you like, Premier Division leagues. He also wants to win the Ballon d'Or. Now, for a fullback to win that is a big ask anyway. And for a fullback that I think it's fair to say he's not the best right fullback going. He's got very, very different attributes, and some of them are not characteristic of a fullback. Some of them are. He's a great player. But I think that in time will lead him probably to move on, and then it becomes that $1 million question: do we take money now, or do we let him go for zero in the summer?
They're offering 20 mil, is that right?
Allegedly, between 20 and 25 million euros, I think was the figure that
that's now because he's only got 6 months, obviously.
Yeah. He has, so, but to me, the biggest issue with it now is, and you'll have seen the leak to the newspapers last week. Nobody knows if it was factual. Clearly, there's a lot of thinking had gone into the numbers. 78 million over 5 years is what it was believed Liverpool had offered him, which matched pretty much Madrid's money aside from the sign-on fee. The thing with that is, if you're McAllister and you're playing out your skin week in, week out. And you're on 150, and you get told somebody that's having a bad game now and again is on double, it creates this harmony in the camp. It's going to. And that's my worry, that if that festers for a period of time, it's just naturally going to upset things.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the things that I know you were quite animated about, because I said to you in the bar or at the bar, I said, you can't blame him. He's done a good service. Your argument is he's been there since a kid, but you cannot blame him when Real Madrid comes sniffing around for going. You've got a different view on that, haven't you? You feel like,
to be honest, it's not just him. I think the club as well. I think it's just been poorly done from all parties' perspective. 2 years ago, there was noises about him going to Madrid and interest in Madrid. If he'd have said, it's definitely something I want to nail down and do, the club could have almost architected a re-signing, but being open and committing to him that they would sell if Madrid came in for a certain fee. That could have been achieved, and it could have been done behind closed doors without upsetting the team. Where it's come down to now, I think, is a desire to potentially get out with good feeling on all parts, and I just don't think that can be done now.
No.
It's run too long, and whether we like it or not,
not the front page. The main story in the Guardian today was when he apparently walked back to the bench at Tottenham last night. He was, patting the badge and kissing and patting the badge as he took his seat. Whether he's just trying to nullify the rumours. I mean, listen, he loves the club, but you can't blame him. I can't, but I would go.
I get it, but I also have sympathy with Carragher's view, and he's right. He would have killed to be a local lad in this capable team. That wasn't the case when him and Gerrard were around. So you're really saying Owen, McManaman, others could have said, we're leaving for Madrid because we want to win things. You can't say that now because we've not won anything this season yet, but we're in a really strong position. So it is a very different position. And when you add the localness and the local lad aspect to it, it makes it even more difficult.
Do you think that this is the first challenge because although it's a club thing, this is the first challenge you'd seen Slot have to deal with. Is there risk of him losing the dressing room or authority? I mean, you're talking about, if they all go, I mean, I don't think Virgil van Dijk will go. I think he'll stay, right? You think, Matt, you just said you thought Salah will go.
I think Salah will go. Yeah.
What's you thinking there? I know he wasn't getting
some of the comments.
He seems happier.
But some of the comments in the media. This is my last season at Liverpool. This is my last year at Liverpool. Yeah. And not giving what we said about Trent. Salah's not turned around and said, "I want to go. I want to stay." And anything that's been thrown at him, he's then replied to Carragher saying, I think you're obsessed with me. He's not giving any. He's not saying anything. The same as Trent. Then the same as Virgil as well. He's not said he's staying. I don't know. I mean, the three of them all up in the air is. I don't think it's a good situation.
It's not ideal, but to be fair, up until this last week, the results have been good, and that situation has persisted for the last 3 months in terms of negotiation, respect to what the players say. But I do think the one thing that makes me a bit more confident about Salah is he's obsessed with records, numbers, stats, legend status. That's what he wants. So I think it comes down to, do we give him 3 years and worry that he drops off a cliff after 18 months? Or do we talk him into 2 years on the money he wants and then we say goodbye and we get a successor in over the next 12 months or so?
How old is Salah now?
Is in a year.
He's 31, isn't he?
32. Mm. Yeah, it's a big ask to give someone a 3-year deal, isn't it?
It is, but then look at Ronaldo. Ronaldo kept going, what is he now, 38, 39 or something in Saudi? If you look after your fitness, and he's very like Ronaldo like that, he's ripped. He lives a real clean living lifestyle. Look how fit he is. Look how many minutes he plays.
He's not jumping turnstiles to get to pubs and things like that.
No, that's true. And when I say jumping, it was more stumbling over, really, athletically.
I mean, realistically, then, with Liverpool on that front, I mean, the priority is the Premier League, I assume, as a supporter.
For me, has to be. Yeah. Has to be. It was such a disappointment when we did win it, behind closed doors. Miserable, not miserable for the fans, the accolade of winning it, great, but not being able to support, not being able to celebrate it as a collective was a big miss. I think it's come out of nowhere this year. I think most people would say the same. Expectations that we were going to get Man United and Ferguson syndrome, I think, was fair, given the stature that Klopp had at the club. And anybody stepping into that was going to have a tough job. Yes, he's inherited the same squad, but he still had to make them tick. And as you've seen, he's tweaked it ever so slightly to be a more controlled, 9 times out of 10, a more controlled game than we used to play. So it's just a great position to be in at the minute. Start the season, I'd have said I'd take top 4.
Yeah. I mean, what are you, 9 points ahead of Arsenal now, and you've got.
Oh, that's assuming a win on the game in hand,
which is against.
So it's 6. Well, yeah, but they're going to have a new manager, aren't they? And God knows if they're fighting for 3 points whenever we get it arranged, because it's chaos to try and fit that in any time.
Yeah,
but soon, really, with the schedule.
if you look at the next 6 fixtures, Arsenal's ones are not good either. But obviously, you got Accrington and Stanley on at the weekend, which we'd like to think you'll slam dunk that one in. But tricky away tie at Forest, away at Brentford, a home to Ipswich, you'd expect that, away at Bournemouth, and then at home to Tottenham. That's then followed by Wolves and then City. None of that's very nice. You know,
Forest and Bournemouth, really tough away games. Really, really tough.
Yeah.
And obviously you got beat by them, didn't you, earlier in the season? They're a decent outfit. I don't know. I mean, we are in for their left back, Kirkev, but whether that materialises in the January window or not, I'm not so sure.
Would you write off City? I heard one that bookies have got City and Forest. I think City have come in since the last couple of wins, but they have got them at 40-1.
Yeah.
Who's City?
Yeah. I think it's come narrowed in now in the last couple of games. But when they were having that thing, they've gone out at 40-1. I'm not convinced they'd write them off. They could easily put a run together and not drop any points.
The thing is, I think Man City obviously had a blip. They're now back to winning ways, not against the best teams, but they're back to winning ways, which builds confidence, and you get in a stride. Liverpool are having a blip. I don't think, I agree with Paul. It's not a crisis. It's just a blip. Are Arsenal going in through a blip?
I don't think
possibly.
Well. I actually don't think they play well all season, mate. We'll get on to that one.
But that gives, if people are going through blips now, and City have gone through their blip, there's a good chance they will catch people.
And you write off Forest, or could they do a Leicester?
I put a tenner on Forest.
Have you?
Whatever I said the other day. Was it 50-1 or 60? 50-1, wasn't it? Yeah. I did put a tenner on because you never know. You never know.
When you mentioned it the other day, Matt, I had 30 on at 50-1 because I couldn't believe they were 50-1 and second in the league. Just didn't make sense. How can they be 50-1 and second in the league? It's madness.
I think before the Wolves game, they beat Wolves 3-0, didn't they? Before that, they were 66-1.
Right, well.
Craziness, isn't it?
Yeah.
By the way, you boys look like you could be actually sat in the same room. Just looking at that.
Yeah, I mean, my study's out of action for decorating purposes, so I'm in the front room. The lighting's not the best, but yeah, it's similar.
I'm currently in Hampton Hill at the brother and sister-in-law's in the au pair's bedroom.
Oh, mate, very fancy.
Easy, Tiger.
She's not here at the moment. I'd like to add. No, she's not here. I'd like to add. Yeah, she's not here.
So let's move. Let's have a little shift into United. Matty, 100% better on Sunday. I mean,
yeah.
Has he got a handle on it? Do you think? Are you where are you on it? I mean, they just played. They look like a team that. I mean, Paul said they look like a team that have had a week off. He's drilled them a bit better. They definitely looked like they were playing as a team. Was it because they were playing Liverpool? I don't know. But are they turning the corner? I mean, do they need some bodies in January? What's you thinking?
I think we need. In terms of recruitment, we need a striker that is just prolific.
Don't we all?
We need a good goal scorer because Xerxes obviously not up to it at the minute. I just don't think anyone we've got at the minute are up to being prolific.
Who would you like?
We need. Pardon?
I mean, who would you like? I'm surely Amarin's got to have a chance of getting Gyökeres Sporting. I mean,
I don't think we'll get him. I don't think we'll get him purely because of money. I don't think we'll get him this transfer window. Maybe in the summer differently if we offload some more players.
He's got a release clause of 85 million.
Yeah, I don't think we can afford that because of the financial fair play. Not in this window. Maybe in the summer, if we loan off Rashford and Anthony with loans with obligations to buy, then maybe in the summer we might be able to do it. But I think anyone that comes in this window is going to be loan deals, which opens the door to reports of Kolo Muani from PSG coming in on loan, maybe possibly with a obligation to buy. But and in terms of whether we've turned the corner, I think it's been the same old story. My son Ollie always says to me, "What's your prediction? What's your prediction?" And I turn around and I say, "I can never give you a prediction because I never know what Man United will turn up." Yeah. And because we've played well in games before, the next game we're absolutely dire. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens against your mob on Sunday. And if we put in that same performance, then yes, possibly we've turned the corner. But it's an open book that we need to start a new chapter and see what happens.
It's funny though, because you can make some parallels with United and with Tottenham. United, I think is the number like £1 billion they've spent on the team in the last, I don't know what it is, 7 years or something around.
Yeah,
and you could arguably look at that team and go, I think Arsenal have got a 3-4 player problem. I don't know once you've got that team whether the goalkeeper I think is a complete waste of money. I don't know if you share if you share that view. The defence pretty much needs replacing. I don't know who in midfield. What's his name?
Ugarte. Kobe,
Kobe Mainu. He's on 20 grand a week, isn't he? And still, and he's asked for 200, and they're balking at it.
Well, I think he's up for sale, haven't they? They've said they're open to offers for him.
So reportedly they've said that every squad member is up for sale. I don't think he'll go. Yeah. I've read something from him that he's apparently said that he's happy, he's under no pressure, and he's been treated well, and he's looking forward to the future. So I don't think he will be sold. I think him and Ugarte could form a good partnership in the middle.
Yeah. But the players they have when I make the liking to Tottenham. Anne's just got a very strange way of thinking. It's very entertaining as an Arsenal fan, of course. But he just will not change his ways. But they're another club that spent a lot of money, and a lot of people blame Levy for this in respect of the way he manages it and so on. But you can't argue if you were Levy. You go, look, I brought in Conte, I brought in Mourinho. Some similar things here for United. At the best managers in the world, and no one can get a tune out of them. And for Manchester United, nobody's got a tune out of them since Fergie left. And if you listen to Gary Neville, and you've got to think he's in the know, there's a problem behind the scenes at the club, which has resulted in them spending £1 billion and having a bang average team.
Yeah.
And so is this they need a new stadium. There's a lot of things that needs to happen at Manchester United to get them back up to the club that we know that we all thought and knew they are.
I think the one thing that's clear to me, and I'm a massive fan of, is Amarin's the right guy. If everyone can get behind Amarin, he'll get the Premier League title to United, no doubt. Yeah. It might take 3 or 4 years. The club have got to get behind him. The fans. I just think he's such a competitor. I think, like I say, he had a week with him last week with no interruptions. That United team that turned up against Liverpool was totally different. What they did was they found not the one weakness, but the key weakness down the left, and they peppered it. So they put Bruno and Dalio on Alexander-Arnold. Jesse's head was all over the place, but he still didn't cope with it. Gravenberch was struggling there. That's tactical nous, where he spotted Where can you get at them? Where can you get at them? We're going to be at Anfield. What can we do? That's what that guy's like. He's shit hot, Amarin.
They were
really
aggressive. United were aggressive as well. They were
Yeah.
banging into them tackles, like De Ligt and Maguire. Balls played into your front two. But they were just bang on them. And I think, like I say, the jury's out, obviously, if we've turned a corner or not. But if they turn up against Arsenal like that, I think we'll beat you this weekend.
Yeah. Could happen. And then Arsenal are out of 2 cups in 7 days, which just sounds ridiculous from where you were a week ago.
It's a very Arsenal.
When I say out of 2 cups, all right, you could go to Newcastle, but midweek under the lights, 2-0 down. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, hard work. I think one of the things that I see with this, and I don't know if it's the modern coach. When Arteta turned up at Arsenal, he set the team up like City, and didn't have any of the players. He just didn't have the personnel there that could play the system that were technically good enough. You see now with Ange, he's at Tottenham, he's setting their team up. But I mean, for me, he sets them up like the under-8s. It's almost just like, fuck it, whether we've got 10 people, 9 people, 11 people on the pitch, we're playing a high line, and we'll win this one. We'll win this one 8-4 or something. It's just standard kind of rugby scoreline. So for an Australian, that's probably pretty normal. But I think you might have the same thing with Amarin, that he's got a system there. Has he got the players? I mean, a lot of people would argue it's very defensive. They didn't have many shots on target. They've got 3 people. You're basically in the system that he plays. You're pulling back your wing backs to go from a 3 to a 5 at the back. Is that defeating the object? As you say, Paul, though, that didn't look the case on Sunday. So maybe he's cracked it.
Well, I don't think he's cracked it. I think in reality, he's looking at 3 transfer windows to get his entire team in. When he's got his entire team in, they're in the top 4, nailed on, and they're challenging. It will come.
Yeah. So I saw when Amarim first came in, I saw some videos of his training sessions, and he'd set up 2 teams, and he was shouting demands, and it was quick attack, and then all of a sudden he'd blow the whistle and say, "You've lost possession. Now get back." And the whole team shifted back. So, like you're saying, with the wing backs going into a back 5, and we saw that on Sunday. So I think they are starting to learn his system and his way forward, and because, like I say, in those training videos I saw when he first came to the club, his training drills looked like they were coming out on the pitch on against Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it, though? I mean, we're all struggling, not so much Liverpool. Liverpool seem to have 6 players that can play up front. But in world football, you're seeing that there is a serious lack of strikers that are about. I mean, strangely enough, talking of the United game on Sunday, I mean, that ball in the last minute, you wanted to go to anyone other than
Harry Maguire.
Well, I wanted it to go to Maguire, and I could see your eyes light up as the ball came across.
Oh, I mean, I just thought anyone but him. I mean, it was a terrible pass, wasn't it? I mean, he banged it into the ground where he only needed a little side foot across and so on and so forth. But I mean, you could have robbed it. You could have against all odds could have won that game.
If that lad hadn't been taken off the week previous, his confidence was through the floor. He might have taken it on. And he had a decent opportunity to shoot rather than cross, and get it. But thank God for that.
No, but it was a good result. But I mean, it leads me to my club that I, and I think we've got some big problem. I mean, I'm reading today, and a lot of Arsenal fans calling up TalkSport and saying, he's caused his own problem. And I'm seeing a touch of the Wengers going on here, where we just haven't got the personnel, and it was so fucking obvious. And now the fact that we're struggling, we've lost Saka, but no one looks like they can put the ball in the net. It's a mess.
But are you saying, to use the same language, blip or crisis then for Arsenal?
We haven't played well all season. That's what I was saying to you. We just haven't, we've not been in flow all season. They're literally, I mean, what was the last game? Who did we just play? Newcastle. I mean, Odegaard, don't know where he's gone. The defence suddenly, from looking rock solid, is all over the place. You've got no one that can put the ball in the net. For some weird reason, Arteta's playing Havertz on the right wing. He's thinking he's there. And every time the answer is, well, we'll bring on. It's the same players every time. Jesus, useless. The guy's useless.
Yeah.
He got 5 goals in a week the other week, didn't he?
But that's exactly it, right? So this
is you then, and then goes missing.
It just doesn't know where I actually think we've got no chance. I think it's that bad. So is it? No, it's a crisis.
The only thing I would say,
you think it's a crisis?
I'm actually at the point that I don't know that Arteta is the man. I feel like he's kind of taken us as far as he can take us.
Do you think he's Arsenal's version of Southgate?
Don't know. I know why you're asking the question.
And do you think Saka is Arsenal's version of Rodri?
What, a Ballon d'Or winner?
No, not a Ballon d'Or winner. But you miss that one person. You lose that one person, and it changes the whole dynamic of the team.
Yeah.
For Arsenal, it's been the two, hasn't it? It's been Odegaard, and then dovetailed almost neatly with Saka. The two you don't want to lose. You've lost them consecutively.
But then as a result, guys, you've got people like Declan Rice, who's not doesn't look the same.
He's not playing well.
No, like I said to you, we've gone suddenly from this idea of we don't need to play, we just need to get a corner. I mean, what people are saying all the time, the biggest cheer you'll get in the Emirates is when we get a fucking corner.
Yeah,
because everyone thinks we're going to score. I mean, the world's gone mad.
Do you know what though? It is brilliant because Ollie's football team, I help coach on a Wednesday evening. I've got them doing the same corners.
Really?
And it does. It creates mayhem.
Right.
Because no one knows what to do.
Yeah.
No one knows what to do. But I mean, did you see
Monaco worked it out in the Champions League? They put 3 guys up front. So they just.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So what they did is they left the left, the right winger, and the centre forward. They put on the halfway line.
Right. So obviously it draws the people out.
So it meant okay, who's going to go? Who's going? So our main danger was get Gabriel and Saliba over the headers. One of them's going to have to not go, or you've got to put a defender or a midfielder back. It worked.
Yeah.
There's 3 people up there.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? So and I've seen a couple of clubs do that along the way. So maybe that's the answer. Who knows? Well, anyway, listen, we've got the. You touched on it, Matt. We've got the FA Cup this weekend. Arsenal United is the big. Do you fancy yourself to win?
Like I say, if you just asked me the same question Ollie does. I've not got a clue. Not got a clue. Like I say, it depends what United turns up. If we play like we did against Liverpool, we'll beat you. If we play like we did against Wolves, we'll lose.
Do you think he'll play a full strength team?
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't know that we will.
Do you not think? Do you think he'll rest? No. Well, he's done it and mentioned about resting Rice and stuff before, hasn't he?
And we've got Tottenham on Wednesday.
I can't see that though. If you're 1 point behind in the league, fair enough. But given it might be 9, to bow out of 2 cups in 7 days, that's putting enormous pressure on Arteta, as if he wasn't under it already. But that's just amplifying it beyond belief.
especially for a manager who claims the Charity Shield, as it used to be called, as a trophy that he's won in 5 years.
Well, that's not the biggest problem, mate. The biggest problem is the bull, particularly in the in the Carabao Cup. Yeah, the different football is very hard to play with. And
it flies, apparently. It flies.
It flies,
apparently.
There you go. There you go. That's the problem here. That's been the issue. But I don't know what ball they use in the
FA Cup.
The FA Cup, so that we might be all right. You never know.
Okay.
But no, it's. I mean, part of it when we're saying, we were brought up in an era there where winning the FA Cup was something enormous. It's probably not got the romance. As kids, do you remember the footage would start at 11 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, yeah, I'd love it. I used to love the FA Cup.
FA Cup day.
I used to love the FA Cup.
Yeah. But it's gone a little bit. That romance has gone some way. Yeah,
I remember having walking down to the little news agents at the corner of the road, going down there, and they used to sell, not obviously match official programs, but they used to sell programs for the game. And I remember used to having to go down there and buy it and come back, and I'd sit on a beanbag in front of the telly and just watch it, like you say, from 11 o'clock until 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock when it had all ended, and the build up, the supporters outside the stadium. It gave an excuse for the Scousers to get their white suits on and everything, didn't it? Exactly. Yeah.
Go full Travolta.
All John Travolta and lose.
Yeah, and remember, everyone had a you'd do a song, wouldn't you? You'd have a song in the charts.
Yeah,
that was how you got to the cup final. That's how important it was.
Yeah, but obviously last year got his sparkle back because United won it. But like you say, it used to be a massive spectacle for the end of season spectacle, but now it's all about getting into Europe in the league and getting us high up the league. Now it's the cup competitions have lost their pizzazz.
Well, it's a lack of money in it. Unfortunately, the accounts rule the roost, and the money returned from a cup win's nothing like top four or European.
But you are right. You are right in saying though, Paul. Like you talk about Arsenal potentially going out of 2 cup competitions. That's going to affect morale. There's got to be something to be said. I mean, City have won the Carabao Cup or the Carrot Cake Cup, as we like to call it when you're knocked out. They've won the Carrot Cake Cup like 6 times on the trot, and halfway through the season, it's got to give you some momentum. It doesn't matter what the cup is. Get the cup final, win it. Yeah. It's worth doing, isn't it?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, I think with I think going out mildly or meekly from 2 competitions in 7 days is just, and I've seen some of the AFTV footage, and the mood is just going to go bananas if they lose. But to Matt's point, if the United had turned up against Liverpool, I think they may well lose, and I think United may well step on. But let's see.
We'll see. Well, listen, guys, on the back of this Man United Liverpool thing, we have a little bit of competition in this new format for Bar Chat. So I've got a little quiz for you guys, short but sweet, but it's all about point scoring.
Can I just add, Mark? If you remember, I did win a live Talk Sports competition.
I remember that
live on air. I did win a Talk Sport competition.
Did you got tickets for something? Didn't you? What did you win?
I won festival weekend festival, whole weekend festival tickets. Yeah,
who went?
Not me.
Yeah, always the way. Well, listen, these are the rules, chaps. It's a Liverpool. So anyone live streaming, watching, we got the comments there. Anyone can comment and help these boys along.
I can't see the comments, though.
I can. Oh well.
I can't either.
Well, if you could get onto Facebook, you'd see them or thing. But anyone who's wants to anything about what we're talking about, get involved. We'll involve them as we go. So this is it. You've got some home questions and away questions. So we're starting with you, Paul. Yeah, so how this is worked. So your home question is worth 1 point and your away question is worth 3.
3.
And
Gone 3.
yeah, away,
Okay.
3 points for an away question.
Okay.
You've got your questions. The most points after the 2 rounds. I'll go. You'll get it as it goes along. So this is to you, Paul. So you can steal a point as well, Matt. You know, along this journey. Not for the home ones, but when he gets to the away ones. So just for you, Paul. First of all, who was Liverpool's captain when they won the Champions League in 2005?
Gerrard.
A point to you. Which manager led Liverpool to their first Premier League title in 2020?
Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen Klopp. Who's Liverpool's all-time Premier League top scorer?
Premier League top scorer. I saw that chart the other week when they were showing the Salah goals. Mike Lloyd.
Incorrect. Want to steal here, Matt?
Just Premier League.
All-time Premier League top scorer.
For Liverpool.
For Liverpool. It's not Michael Owen.
There's 2 people in my mind. I'm going to go with Salah.
3 points still for Matt there on the Mo Salah.
I didn't think he got past the numbers yet. But
what number shirt does Virgil van Dijk wear?
4.
Number 4. Correct. Liverpool Stadium is famous for which iconic song sung by the fans? Easy one.
Really? You'll never walk alone.
You've got it. Away questions. So these are questions on Manchester United for you, Paul.
Okay.
Which Man United goalkeeper famously saved a crucial penalty against Arsenal in the 2005 FA Cup final?
Schmeichel.
No. Matt?
2005 FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Van der Sar.
No, the answer was Roy Carroll.
Really?
Oh, wow. I remember Roy Carroll. Was it Roy Carroll picked the ball out of the net when Spurs had put it over the line by about 5 yards?
From the halfway line. From the halfway line, yeah.
Well, Naeem won it. Naeem from the halfway line.
Yeah.
Okay. Who scored Manchester United? This is Paul. This is your away question.
Yeah.
Who scored Manchester United winning goal in the 1999 Champions League final?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
3 points for that one. Who was Manchester United's top scorer in the 2012-2013 Premier League winning season?
Robin van Persie.
Another 3 points there. 2 more. Who scored United's last goal in Sir Alex Ferguson's final match as manager?
Michael Carrick.
Matt?
The last goal in Alex Ferguson's era.
The last goal in his last game, basically, yeah.
Blimey. I think you've got me here. Ryan Giggs. Oh, Ryan Giggs.
No, it's Hernandez, Javier Hernandez.
Nah.
So, final away question for you, Paul, is which player did Manchester United sign from Tottenham in 2008 for 30.75 million?
Dimitar Berbatov.
My God, he's got another 3. How have you pulled that one out the bag? Okay.
That's a good round. That's a good round, Paul. Well done.
Yeah.
So on that one, it's the end of that round. 13 points, plays 3. So you stole 3 there, Matt. So Rooney, you just got to, do better than that.
Yeah.
Who was Manchester United? These are your home questions, Matt. Who was
Yep.
Manchester United's captain during their famous 1999 treble-winning season?
Roy Keane.
For a point. Which manager replaced Alex Ferguson in 2013?
David Moyes.
For a point. Who is Manchester United's all-time Premier League top scorer?
Wayne Rooney.
For a point. That was the question you got on Talk Sport, wasn't it?
That was one of the questions. Yeah.
Yeah. What number shirt does Bruno Fernandes wear?
Number 8.
For a point. Old Trafford is known by what nickname?
The Theatre of Dreams.
For a point. So we're at 8 points, plays 13. This is it. This is your chance. So who scored? This is Liverpool questions for you, Matt.
Yeah.
Who scored Liverpool's winning penalty in the 2005 Champions League final?
Complete guess. Patrick Berger.
No. For a steal?
I think it was Xabi Alonso.
It wasn't Alonso. It was Vladimir Smicer.
Oh, Smitzer, right? Okay.
Yeah. Number 2.
I was there.
Wait.
we were a little bit. We've been on it for 3 days, so a little bit worse for wear.
So away question again, Matt. Smeeser, we got there. Which Liverpool player won the Ballon d'Or in 2001?
Michael Owen.
For 3 points. (13 plays 11 currently). Who scored Liverpool's first league goal of the Klopp era?
First goal of the Klopp era. Salah.
Over to you, Paul, for a steal.
Mane.
Nathaniel Klein.
Oh, wow.
So it's 13 plays 11 still. 2 questions to go. What year did Liverpool first play at their iconic Anfield Stadium, Matt?
Oh, come on. What year did they first play at Anfield?
Yeah, come on, mate. Everyone knows this.
1892.
Fuck off. 1892 is the correct
Is it?
answer. If you didn't have your phone with you, I would actually sit here and go, you've had to have Googled it. 1892 to go 1 point ahead.
Is Ollie shouting in the background by any chance?
I'm not here. I'm in the own pairs.
Of course you are. Yeah, of course you are. How could I forget?
Okay, final question. Quite crucial, this one. Who scored, the decisive goal in Liverpool's FA Cup final win against West Ham in 2006?
Decisive goal against West Ham. Gerrard.
Correct.
3 points to Matt for Steven Gerrard. So that's taking you to 16 points. Rooney, you're on 13. There is one bonus question, guys. The bonus question is open to you both, and it's worth 5 points. So Rooney,
right.
Rooney, if you get this, you win. Matt, you're 3 points ahead as it is. So, which player has scored?
Hang on. Sorry. Is this a buzz in or? Or is this just a question to Paul?
It's open to both of you. Is it a buzz-in? Yeah, I suppose it has to be some sort of hand-up thing, I suppose, doesn't it?
Okay.
Which player has scored the most goals in the Liverpool versus Manchester United matches in the Premier League era? Which player has scored the most goals in Liverpool versus Manchester United matches in the Premier League era?
I'm going in at Wayne Rooney.
Okay. May as well get your answer as well, mate.
Well, he's first in, isn't he? So is it -5 if he's got it wrong?
This is your only chance to win.
Premier League era, and the most goals in that fixture.
The most goals scored by one player in that fixture.
I'm going to say Ryan Giggs.
Okay. The answer is neither one of them. So I'll give you the winner. I can either give you the winner or you can both have one more guess.
David Beckham.
Oh. Okay, I'm going completely different. I'm going to say Robbie Fowler.
You're both wrong again. The player that scored the most, the player that scored the most goals in the Liverpool Manchester United matches, you're going to kick yourself, is Steven Gerrard.
Really?
Steven Gerrard.
Right.
So there we go, guys. So first
Well done,
blood.
Matt.
First blood to
Thank
you,
you.
mate. 16 points. Place it. How you got the 1892?
I don't know either.
If you hadn't have got that, would you have guessed anything like that, Rooney? Do you have a clue?
Oh, what I'd written down was 1894.
Really?
If it had come to me, so I'd have been wrong anyway.
Is it on the badge? Is it not on the badge?
I'm trying to think.
You've got some weird sixth sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously come from somewhere.
Yeah, it's got to have.
The au pair's not a Liverpool supporter, is she?
No, she's American. She's lying into soccer.
She's lying in the bed. She's lying on the bed with a Liverpool shirt on.
Just to, there's no one here.
Excellent, chaps. Well, listen, it's been a good first one to get back with. We'll be doing a weekly, and we'll have a guest with us every week. I appreciate all you've done. It's a good little competition, that one. I think we'll carry on with these things. I'm looking forward to doing something on the Six Nations and mostly Cheltenham. I think that'll be good. Everyone's going to have a little flutter at Cheltenham.
What about maybe a bit of Premier League darts as well?
Premier League darts. You're a bit of a dart. You're a bit of a darts. Well, you thought you were until you went and played whoever it was that stomped you the other week. But he plays a bit about. He plays a bit in the darts league, Matt.
Right,
tearing it up.
I like me darts.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Whatever we can do, guys, we'll definitely do it. But
Good
cool
stuff.
Thank you very much, lads, and everyone, and we will be back again next week after the weekend, hopefully with Man United out and Arsenal win.
and Mark, you need to get yourself down Easy Breeze for a pint.
Absolutely. Thank you. Our sponsors.
Don't miss out the advertising. Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
All right.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.